Hey there, and welcome. Today I'm going to be creating a simple command line application using Golang, right? It's going to be a simple app that tracks how long you've been coding. So it's called dev time. So pretty much what I want to do is something like this. Say dev time, like check how long I've been coding. So I've been coding for 44 minutes, right? So that's the time since the last time I started the project. So if I do something like dev time. So it's gonna tell me the commands that we have here, right? So I can start, I can check, I can reset. So let me do something very simple right now to show you how this works. So dev time reset, because I already have a timer, right? Timer reset. Okay. Now I have to do dev time start, starting a new timer. Then let me try to check right here. It's gonna be like seconds. See, recording for 6 seconds. So that's how it works. So just three commands. Okay, so I have a Z project. Okay, here I've created a simple structure for the uh, application using Golang, right? It's very simple, very minimal. Uh, so the first thing I want to do here is, as usual, create the Golang file, right? I want to say main.go package main, right? Okay, then I want to say create. I'm gonna create the main function for Go because Golang's the main function, right? So, like that, very simple. So what I want to do is capture the uh, command line uh, arguments, start, check, if it says dev time, start. So I want to capture this argument here, right? So this is what I have to do. So in Go, we have the always package. So I'm going to say args are equal to, so that's a assigning operator in Golang. Like I'm initializing the variable here if you don't know Go, right? Importing the always package, then args, right? Okay. Uh, then I'm gonna say if the user hasn't passed any arguments, like if the length of the argument is less than 2, because in Golang, I'm gonna show you in a second, the argument in the index 0 is actually the application name. So if the args are less than 2, which means uh it's nothing. It's just the one that is in is the application name. So I can filter it here, but I don't want to do that, right? So then I want to learn a simple function that will display default outputs here, right? So let me create that function right now. That will say like usage or something similar. Func default output, right? So just gonna fmt.print uh, print line. So let me import this first. Print line the usage dev time, maybe a command here, right? And yeah, let's give them the command that we have. So we have start, we have check, and we have set, right? Just like that. So I'm gonna run the function here. So now that so return the application if nothing happens. So now that we are sure that the users passed in the arguments, now I'm gonna use a switch case to uh switch switch through the arguments, right? So since I already have a variable for argument, just gonna say arguments, and I'm gonna take the first one because I mean the second one in the first index, in the indexed one, because the one in the index 0 is the application name, right? Let me try to show you that. No, it's you're going to see it soon, right? Just like that. So create a couple cases here. cases for, okay, case start. It's gonna run the start mm, function. Let me do this. Just leave it blank for now, right? Case check blank for now, and case is set, right? Blank for now. Then I'm gonna go defaults. So default just gonna run the default function, default output function, right? So what I want to do is pretty simple. I want to separate this into other packages. I am able to, I can create the functions right here, right? Create a func start and all the other functions, but I don't want to do this because uh, if the functions have are very long, so my main to go up, my main to go will be very long as well. So I wanna create a package here called action, right? And inside of here, create a file, call it actions.go package actions. So here's where I'm gonna create function start. Make sure you capitalize the first letter because that's how Golang works if you want to create global variables, right? Variables, functions, identifiers, whatever you want. Right, so check, right? Func reset. Okay. Now after that, I'm just gonna have to create a logic and put it inside of there. Okay, so for the start, what I want to do is I want to have like a what? I want to have the name of, I want to store the actual time, like the start time in a file, so that whenever I come back, I can get it, right? Even if the application is closed, not in the I don't want to store the variable, I mean the time, start time inside the memory, right? So, and I also don't want to include a database or something else like that. No, so I'm just gonna create it, something like that, variable for the file, right? I'm gonna call it the dev time, right? Right. Okay. Here, very simple. Gonna start by recording the current time, the time that the coding started, right? So this is just gonna be time dot now, and I'm gonna have to format this a bit. So dot format layout time dot something something error. So this is just a constant. You can just copy it. It's just a constant, right? Then I'm gonna open a file. So this is how we do that in Golang dot write file. So I'm gonna store it in the file. What file am I storing? The time file here. And the data should be in form of bytes, passing the now variable. I'm gonna have a custom uh, permission 644, right? Just like that. And I'm gonna say if error is not equal to nil, do something. So fmt dot print line. So this is pretty boring, right? I'll have to automate this somewhere else. I'm gonna move this and put it in a separate package. right? So what I'm gonna say, failed to write the file, something like that. Pass in the error, right? So I'm gonna be writing this piece of code a lot, so that is really boring, right? So let me create another package here. Create another package here and call it utils. And inside of here, create a file, utils.go, right? Package, no, not main, utils, right? And just create this simple function, func is error, right? So I'm just gonna be receiving some sort of a message which is gonna be string, and the error which is gonna be type of error. Just gonna say here if error not equal to nil, fmt dot print line print uh the error itself, no, I mean the message, comma, error. And the message should be like concatenated with maybe like an error string, like maybe something like error, something like that, right? Then I'm gonna return. If the error is nil, we don't do anything. So if I come back here, now instead of doing all this stuff, you can just say utils dot is error. So I pass in my error, failed to write the file, and the error itself is error, right? So this has simplified the thing like a lot, right? So now what do I have to do? Let me see. Now I have already stored the thing in the other thing. So this function is pretty much done. So I'm just gonna say fmt dot print line uh, mm, dev time started tracking art, maybe now, right? Now I've created the check function. So this has to check how long have you been coding, right? So this is the put one. Okay, before I do this, let me just do the reset one, because the reset one is pretty simple. So just gonna delete the file. So os dot remove, right? Remove what? Time files, right? See, again, I was supposed to do if I not equal to nil again here, but I already have my util function, util dot is error. So I'm just gonna say failed to remove the file, and I'm gonna delete this here, right? Pretty simple. See what I was saying? Simplify the thing a lot, right? But okay, something else is okay. Just leave it like this, right? I will iterate in this project, add more stuff, bunch of things, right? So for this, because just gonna say fmt dot uh print line uh timer is reset. Bang, done. Very simple. Right. So now the check function, right? Now this function uh has to get the data. get the data from the file. So it's gonna be always dot read file. I think so. Read file. To read the file. What file we want to read? Time file. Boom. You guessed it right. So here I can't use my util function here because of something, because I have to do multiple checks. So I can do this if error is not equal to nil, right? And I also have to see if always dot is not exists error, right? Print fmt. So if the file doesn't exist, right? So we're just gonna say no start time found. Run live time start to start, right? Then below here I have to return this as well, so that it doesn't continue with the errors. So okay, just gonna say fmt dot print line the other error, and return it as well, right? Now I have to use the data. Okay, I have to get the start time. So we'll say start time string first, because I want to convert it into time. So first I have to get the string so that I can convert it easily. So I'm going to import the strings package from Go and trim it using trim space data. Should also be a string with this bytes data, right? Then I'm going to say that time I'm going to try to convert it, right? Time pass what? The format that we had before, RR399, right? And start time string, but this also returns an error. This returns an error, right?